Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to DragonBall Nation. Now, today I have an interesting discussion. It's not really a theory or any main series discussion. It's a little bit off course, but it is referring to Dragon Ball Super. And it's going to be discussing the Battle of Gods and Revival F arcs. And obviously, guys, I know we don't really know much about these arcs, other than we have the episode layout for some of the Battle of Gods stuff and some information about that stuff, and I'll leave a link to Geekdom 101's video where he explains some of the differences with the new Battle of Gods arc. And I know we don't know a lot about this, guys. I just wanted to kind of throw my opinion out here because, you know, a lot of talk is going on if this is writing out or retconning the last two films, Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. And I want to discuss that here and throw my opinion in here. It is unclear of which one should be taken as the main canon, because canon is a word that has never been subjected or used in Toei animation or Akira Toriyama himself. I believe the closest thing ever used to saying something was canon is, I believe, when they said that Battle of Gods or Revival F, I'm not sure which, Toriyama had stated that it's a part of the official history, and with Resurrection F, I'm pretty positive that he said that he intended it to be a part of the original manga, which by most people's terms would be considered canon. But like I said, canon's not a word to my knowledge that have ever been used in that company or Akira Toriyama's words. He's never used that. And if these new arcs in Dragon Ball Super are to replace the previous two movies, which is still unclear at this point, but it is obvious that those arcs do greatly contradict the events in those films, it begs the question of which one you want to take as the quote-unquote canon, or if you want to accept them both, which in my opinion will be a little strange considering how much they contradict, if that makes sense. And it'd be a little weird to pick which one you liked better, because that's all subjective in a way. It's not really a consistent canon. And I want to discuss, you know, those arcs taking place in those films. First of all, those films, I mean, Battle of Gods came out in 2013 in Japan and then 2014 in the US and other territories. And Resurrection F came out this year and has yet to come out in the US. And it has been out in some other territories. I'm sure some of you guys may have seen it in I believe they have a Portuguese dub of the film. But that movie just came out, and for them to actually just completely write that off is very strange. And I know I did a video with Rhyme Style about this a couple weeks ago, just talking about it. I didn't really get to share my real thoughts though, my hardcore thoughts about this. It's not something I enjoy. I've seen Resurrection F in Japanese and in a Portuguese dub with subtitles, and Battle of Gods, of course. And I love both those movies. I know Battle of Gods gets a ton of hate. I love the movie, and that's it. I love the movie. I know it has problems, but hell, I'm a guy who loves Dragon Ball GT. I love the Baby arc. I love the Shadow Dragon arc. I love a lot of parts of that series. I know it's a very hated series, and I know there's going to be some comments relating to GT, and that's fine. They can do their comments. I don't really care. They can do them. They can have their opinions. I can have mine. That's how it is. That's how it is in the internet. That's how it is in, you know, the world. We can all have our opinions. But for these sagas and arcs in Dragon Ball Super to take place of something that was considered canon already by fans is a little strange to me, considering they just came out and they were already accepted as canon. Even Toriyama, you know, wink wink nudge nudge, said that Resurrection F and Battle of Gods, they're a part of the official history, which I would think is meaning canon. And for those of you who don't know, Battle of Gods also connected to Yosun Goku and his friends return, which was a special in 2008. And it was only Japanese. But that movie, that special had Gregory, the little cricket guy from King Kai's Planet. It had Gregory in it, and that's a non-canon character, but it is designed by Toriyama. And Yosun Goku and Battle of Gods connect to each other because of the mention of Tarbell and their last meetup. So those movies connect. So most people consider Yosun Goku canon, as well as Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. So if these arcs are replacing those two films, does that mean Yosun Goku and his friends return is no longer officially considered canon by many fans? That's unclear. But like I said, guys, I gotta preface this many times that, like I said, there is no official canon of the series. GT is still never been officially canon or non-canon. Nothing has ever been said. I'm not saying GT is canon. It's obvious that GT is a side thing, in my opinion. To be honest, guys, I want to talk about this in a separate video, but I don't care if something's canon or non-canon. It really does not matter to me. If it's good, it's good. If it's canon or non-canon, whatever. Maybe I'll like it a little bit more if it's canon because it's more true to the series or more in line with that series. But if something's good, I'm going to enjoy it. It doesn't matter if it's canon or non-canon to me, and I know a lot of people feel that way as well. And of course, there's those canon purists that only accept things that are canon, and that's fine. That's their cup of tea. But like I said, I don't like the idea of these arcs replacing Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. Even if these arcs I enjoy a lot more, the fact of the matter is that it's weird because, as we know, guys, most people probably wouldn't like it if they rewrote a lot of parts of the original manga, because that is basically the Bible of the series. And if we're to accept those next two films, or the last two films rather, Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, as continuations of that manga, to rewrite those is weird because those two films are an original source. It is the primary source of the information that is being developed in Dragon Ball Super, the two arcs. And are we considering those films canon and the arcs as quote-unquote filler, or are we going the opposite route, kind of writing off those last two movies? They don't matter. Toriyama is going to be rewriting, Toriyama and the other writers and editors are going to be redoing those last two films, which, in my opinion, like I said, I'm not a fan of. Not saying they're not going to be better stories for that. I think that the reason they're rewriting them is basically to retell a better story and to pretty much better develop the plot and explain Super Saiyan God more and all that stuff. So I think they're going to get more development of the information that was produced in Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. I think those two films are still going to matter in the series, but it seems like they're going to be irrelevant in terms of what people would consider canon, which, like I said many times, guys, it's not something I'm a fan of, mostly because those are the original sources to the information, as well as they literally just came out. And not to mention, guys, this is going to confuse a lot of people. A lot of people on the internet for Dragon Ball Z community that watch my videos, Rhyme Style videos, Quaman, Black Fist, Thundershot, all those guys. They're going to know the difference between these two, the arcs and the films. Guys on the outside are not going to know quite as much. I've known about quite a few guys that were wondering why Goku didn't go Super Saiyan 4 in Battle of Gods because they were not aware of the time placement. And something like that is going to happen again here. And not to mention, if they ever decide to go past where GT took place after that 10-year gap, that's going to confuse fans as well. But yeah, guys, like I said, you know, this is something I feel strongly about. And if it's going to happen, obviously, nothing's official yet, but from the lineups we've seen, pretty clear that this is going to be rewriting at least Battle of Gods. We're not sure how the Resurrection F arc is going to play out, but the Battle of Gods arc has some differences already before we've even seen the episode. Not to mention the stuff leading up to Battle of Gods where, you know, in Dragon Ball Super, spoiler alert here, guys, in Dragon Ball Super Episode 1, we see Beerus is awake, and then Goku goes to train on King Kai's planet, and we see Supreme Kai and the Elder Kai, you know, noticing Beerus' presence, and that's leading up to Battle of Gods, the events of that film, it seems. So I just want to talk about this, guys. I didn't want to make this video too long, but it was an interesting discussion, not really about the series, but about, well, it was about the series, but not the usual stuff I talk about. And I know a lot of people probably think I felt a little too strongly about things, and you can leave your thoughts in the comment section below. You know, whatever happens, guys. I'm sure this series, you know, from the first episode, huge potential from this series. It did not disappoint me at all. A lot of people were disappointed about the humor. I love the humor. It harkens back to the original Dragon Ball in some ways, and it's supposed to be lighthearted to start up the new series, especially for those fans who are just finishing off Kai. Makes sense for them. They're kind of developing that first episode almost for them, but as well as for the old hardcore fans. So I want to know what you guys think of the arcs in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys think of it. Do you think it's, you know, okay for you guys that this is happening? Do you guys like this idea? Because like I said, it's going to cause a lot of confusion. And as I said before, guys, those first two movies are an original source. Just like the manga is an original source, or the first source, for the anime adaptation of Dragon Ball Z series. So, you know, that's my thoughts, guys. I know I've been rambling for a long time, and little bit mixed up here. But it's something I want to get off my chest and talk to you guys about. Because, you know, there's a lot of you and I wanted to share my opinion. So I hope you guys enjoy this video and discussion. Let me know what you guys think of this, because I really want to hear what other people think about this, because I have not seen a lot of opinions here. So I really want to get your guys' thoughts, and I'm sure you guys are going to give me tons and tons of comments to go through, and I'm looking forward to that. Thank you for your time in this video. I know it was a longer discussion. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you later.